Okay, so let's get right into it. Think about this for a second. Right now, in your walls, under your feet, all across Pittsburgh, there's a constant hidden war going on. It's this silent battle against pressure, against temperature, against time itself. And you know where the front line is? It's your home's water pipes.
So, what's really going on here? What's attacking your plumbing? Is it just, bad luck when a drain suddenly backs up or a pipe bursts in the middle of winter? Or is there something more going on, something uniquely Pittsburgh that's putting your whole house at risk? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down. All right, first up, let's talk about what we're calling Pittsburgh's plumbing nightmare. To really get it, we need to look at the signs, the symptoms, and if you live anywhere around here, I bet you're probably familiar with some of these. Those super frustrating and, let's be honest, often messy problems that pop up and scream that something's wrong. Yeah, take a look at this list. I mean, does any of this ring a bell? That gurgling sound from the toilet, a drain that just seems to get slower and slower, or the absolute worst, finding water in your basement. Look, these things aren't just little annoyances. No way. They're basically distress signals. Your house is trying to tell you something's up with the plumbing. And that really gets to the heart of it, right? I mean, is it just bad luck? Or is there something more going on here in Pittsburgh? Because when you see how many people are dealing with this stuff, it starts to feel like it can't just be a coincidence. And you'd be right. There are these bigger forces at play, things totally unique to our city, that are literally attacking your pipes, day in and day out. So, let's meet the bad guys in this story. We're going to look at the city's hidden attackers. We've actually pinpointed 4 major culprits, and they're all tied to Pittsburgh's unique geography and its history. Together, they create what is basically a perfect storm for plumbing disasters. Okay, attacker number 1. This is a big one. It's that classic freeze-thaw cycle, and if you've lived through a Pittsburgh winter, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Just think about how it works. Water gets inside your pipes, it freezes, and when water freezes, it expands with incredible force. Then it thaws. Then it freezes again. It's this constant expansion and contraction over and over all winter long. And all that pressure builds up from the inside, literally splitting pipes apart. Doesn't matter if it's copper, PVC, whatever. It is a seriously destructive cycle. All right, on to attacker number 2. This one is a little sneakier. It works silently, right underneath your house. We're talking about aggressive clay soil. See, the soil all around Allegheny County is this heavy clay. And what does clay do? It shifts, it settles, it moves around, and that puts this slow but constant crushing pressure on your underground sewer lines. But that's not all. That same soil creates the perfect environment for tree roots to go hunting for water. They find one tiny crack in your pipe and they invade, growing and growing until you've got a massive blockage. Next up, attacker number 3, the hills and rivers. The very things that make Pittsburgh look so iconic are also part of the problem. It's kind of like a double-edged sword. You've got all these hills, right? Well, those elevation changes create some really wild variations in water pressure. So if you live up high, that extra pressure is just hammering your pipes and fixtures day after day. Then you've got the 3 rivers. They create high groundwater pressure that's always pushing on your pipes from the outside. So you're getting attacked from both sides. And that brings us to our final attacker. Attacker number 4, the city's aging housing stock. This one, well, it's been hiding in plain sight for 100 years. Yeah, this quote really hits the nail on the head. So many homes, especially in neighborhoods like Squirrel Hill or Shawty, were built way back between 1890 and 1940. And that means they're often running on plumbing that is literally a century old. These systems were never designed for the demands we put on them today. And honestly, the materials are just worn out. So, okay, we've met the attackers. Now, what does it look like when they actually succeed? Let's do a little autopsy, if you will. The anatomy of a failure. This comparison here is just perfect. On the left, you've got the old galvanized pipes you find in so many houses built before 1960. They literally rust from the inside out, which chokes off your water flow and, yep, can even put rust into your water. Ugh. But on the right, you see the modern stuff, PEX and copper. They're designed specifically to resist all that corrosion and damage. And all this leads to what are basically ticking time bombs in your walls. A burst pipe, that's the freeze-thaw cycle at work. A nasty sewer backup, you can thank the clay soil and those invasive tree roots. Water heater failing too soon, that's often due to our hard water. It's a really clear cause and effect relationship between the attackers and the disasters. Okay, so enough with the doom and gloom. How do you fight back? Well, dealing with these unique Pittsburgh problems requires a very specific game plan. A one-size-fits-all approach just isn't going to cut it here. You need what we're calling the professional playbook. And having the right playbook means having the right arsenal. And I'm not just talking about wrenches and pipes. It's about having that deep local knowledge, knowing the quirks of old home systems, having the right diagnostic gear, and honestly, having a truck that's fully stocked so you're not waiting around for parts. It's about understanding this city's specific challenges. The process itself should be simple and stress-free. No nonsense. Step 1, you call and talk to an actual human, 24/7. Step 2, a pro comes out, figures out the real problem, and gives you a clear written estimate before they start. And step 3, they do the repair with good parts, they test it to make sure it's fixed, and they clean up after themselves. Simple. So, what about the cost? That's a huge part of the stress, right? Well, let's be transparent. The cost isn't just some random number. It's based on a few key things. Labor time. Obviously, an emergency call at 2 a.m. is different from a scheduled one. The materials needed for a quality fix. How tough it is to get to the pipes, especially in these older homes. And sometimes you've got city permits for big jobs.
And this right here, this is maybe the most important part. The price we quote is the price you pay. In a super stressful situation, the absolute last thing you need is a surprise on your bill. That kind of commitment to being upfront, that's everything. So we'll leave you with this final thought. Is your home ready for its hidden battles? Because now you know it's out there. You know that the soil, the weather, the hills, the city's entire history are all putting your home to the test. So the real question isn't if you're going to face one of these battles, it's are you ready for it when it happens?